Hello. I have to say that today has been full of joy for me because I have had so much contact both through the window and also through uh, this phone and computer, being able to talk to people who are my friends, colleagues, has been so uplifting, and to have been given the gift of others' loving charity, beautiful bunch of flowers, treats to nibble, to see people's smiling faces, and to be in the company, albeit remote. I still felt close to all those that I've been able to speak with today, over the phone, on this mobile phone with video links, and on the computer, watching people's live transmissions like Deb Hawkin, Tony Swindles, our own people, lots of ministers and student ministers. I had conversations with them all over the country. It's been just marvellous. And with so much misery and worry, anxiety, stalking every man, woman and child here, I think that to see how spiritualists of all kinds, because there are Christian spiritualists, there are just spiritualists, there are all sorts of different kinds of spiritualists, but we are all spiritualists. And to see how they are all putting out their good humour, their love of life, their commitment to bringing the word that there is no death to people, bringing communication from loved ones on the other side of life, those who have gone before, back to people left here, particularly at this time when comfort of their loved ones is needed more than ever, and the loss of people is felt even more keenly, perhaps by the threat that there is a likelihood that people will actually find themselves propelled onto the other side before they were expecting to 6 months ago. Nevertheless, to see all these people, all these spiritualists, actually becoming, more visible, putting themselves out there, either with their philosophy, counselling. Deb Hawkin, for instance, wonderful counsellor. All the mediums out there, all delivering communications and messages from loved ones. Such comfort and upliftment. It's just wonderful to see them all. And I'm so proud, not in a bad way, I hope, but I'm pleased and proud to have mentored and made possible more mediums to become actual spiritual ministers. It has been such a joy to me to see them all working away for the benefit of their fellow human beings, and to see the way in which our inclusiveness and our devotion to the equality of all human beings, all the same, all the one spirit of the one spirit, see that come across in the way that they behave, in the way they are helping other people to overcome their worries at this time is just fantastic. So I just wanted to say a few words about that. And I guess because it's because you'd be looking at this, I'm probably preaching to the converted, as we call it. But there's so much spirituality in human beings, even if perhaps they don't want to acknowledge it individually sometimes, or they think that spiritualists are devil worshippers or consorting with demons. I assure you, if you're among that number, we are not. And we only seek to bring love and light, understanding, and bring those two worlds closer together, so that if you feel bereft of a loved one, friend, family member, even animals, that by spiritualist mediums using their gifts to actually communicate between the two worlds, that you receive comfort. And of course, because it's private now, really, when I speak to you, I'm sure you're either on your own or perhaps with a friend or something, or a partner. It's a private conversation, and I think that to see everybody putting it out there over social media to individuals privately, it's wonderful, because it spares everyone's blushes. It doesn't matter if you cry, laugh, swear, or whatever you do. It doesn't matter, because some part of that, contact with the greater spirit will actually affect you for the good. So, as we say, it's like healing, you see. We can offer healing, and it doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not, you'll still get healed. And that's not to assault you, it's to actually benefit you. It's like one time people were getting offended by people praying for them. Well, we can pray for who we like, and we can want to spread good as much as we like. It won't do any harm. And I wonder sometimes at the motives behind people saying nasty things about us, as spiritualists, that is. But when I look at all the hundreds now of people going online, this internet, and making recordings, and all for the benefit of other people, and when you see the joy that they have within themselves, surely that is catching, and surely that will convince even the most hard-hearted that there is something in it. Because in times of trouble, we turn to God, even if we haven't considered doing that ever. When, the world is in collective trouble, and what we know as spiritualists is that not only can we pray to be relieved of that trouble and get comfort, but that it actually works. We know that our prayers are heard, and that makes all the difference. We also know that we can hear answers, and we can see answers around us. We can see the signs that things are moving in the right direction if we look, and that's so much more comforting than just following the depressing news and thinking the worst all the time. Of course we have to be sensible. Of course we do. We have to take as many precautions as we can, both for ourselves and for our loved ones. and in that way it stretches out all around the world. We should care about what happens to everybody in the world. And this is something that as spiritualists we can do. And I used to say to people, when they used to say, oh, we'll do charity raising for various good causes, I used to say, well, you know, what we need to do more than anything is charity raise for our churches and for our way of life, to support it, support our mediums and healers, you know, because what we can give as spiritualists to the world, and if we are able to be mediums and healers as well, is absolutely priceless. So any kind of medium is a good medium to me, as long as they're genuine. And of course you're going to get the odd quack, but it's just one of those things, isn't it, really? But you hope that everybody will recognise a genuine medium when they see one after this, because there are so many out there now. You know, you can go to any channel and see all these people chatting away to you, and happily. And I must recommend, of course, my own ministers, who are dotted all over the country now, because with the New Christian Spiritualist Society, I should add, we have a website, we have Facebook pages, and our HQ is Littleport on the Fens of East Anglia, and we have a fine background of spiritualism here, and really I think that you should feel happier knowing that there are good people around you, that you know, that spirit that was abroad in Great Britain's darkest hours is released again, and you'll see that with a bit of a boost from our neighbours, everything will be well, and spiritualism will well deserve its revival. I think after this disaster is over with, spiritualism will actually find a revival. As soon as the churches and the meetings are open again, I think that there's going to be a surge of new people coming into our meeting places, because they will have seen so many good hearts wishing them well, praying for them, and proving that life is indeed eternal through their mediumship. And I'm sure it's going to be a very good summer. So anyway, I won't go on too long. I just thought I would say a few words, hopefully to cheer you, and to tell you that I have not heard anything bad from my guides and helpers in the long term. So I think that you will be all right, and the children will be all right, and their children will be all right, and the world will pick itself up and be a better place as a result. We've just got to get through this together. So thank you to all my ministers and those studying for the ministry at the moment, particularly. And I think that spiritualism itself will increase its numbers as a result of what is going on at the moment. And that's not to decry other religious beliefs, but the fact is that we believe that we are all spirit here and now, that we came from spirit and that we go back to spirit, and that over all is the great spirit. Now I'll leave you with that thought, and I'll say God bless you, and I shall speak to you again tomorrow. Bye for now. God bless you. Keep you safe.